Greece is never far from the headlines at the moment, with new debt negotiations or austerity measures announced seemingly every week. How has the Greek banking industry been affected by the sovereign debt crisis?
This is very true. Greece is on the news almost every day for the wrong reasons. We would like to be on the news for the right reasons, but unfortunately, this is the situation right now. The Greek situation has affected the banking system in the country severely in three ways. The first is that with this debt swap, the Greek banks will incur severe losses and they need to be recapitalized, which is something already planned in the second bailout package. The second big effect of this crisis is the liquidity squeeze that Greek banks are going through due to the fact that the Greek government cannot borrow in the international markets. The Greek banks cannot borrow in the international markets, so their only source of funding is deposits plus funding from the ECB. And the third and most important negative effect from the Greek crisis is the fact of the lack of faith to the Greek banking system. Faith is the main ingredient for the financial institutions to function and work properly. And when this is lost, it's very hard to gain it back.
And what challenges have private banks been dealing with?
Well, the biggest challenge is to try to keep the funds in the country. We have seen a tremendous outflow of funds in the last couple of years. It's not actually only funds that flow out of the country, but it's also funds that are used for people to live on or corporations to pay for their imports. And when the GDP of the country does not grow, that means that households and corporations use already made funds. So this is the biggest challenge, to keep money inside the country and also to keep the psyche of our clients stable. So we're psychotherapists the last 2 years, mostly, not private bankers.
What is a typical client for Eurobank EFG, and how have their needs changed in the last 5 years?
This is a question that cannot be answered directly, actually. There's not a typical client. Private banking of Eurobank EFG serves clients, families, that their assets under management range from 1 million euros to 150 million euros. So there's not a typical client. I mean, the biggest percentage of our clients are between 2 and 3 million euros. They come from different professional backgrounds, and the biggest change in their needs in the last 5 years is that instead of looking on return on capital, they're looking for return of capital.
Good risk management is vital. What are you doing in this area?
Yeah, this is extremely important. I joined private banking at Eurobank EFG 4 years ago, and one of the things I realized was that the Greek investor is very Greek. What I mean by that is that the biggest percentage of his portfolio or her portfolio was on Greek assets. This is something we tried to change over the years. Not that we predicted the Lehman debacle or the Greek crisis, but we said that a private bank investor should be a global investor. So what we tried to do is to steer clients away from Greek assets and into global assets through different products and services. We managed to do that for a good percentage of our clientele, obviously not for everybody because our clients have their wishes as well. But it was actually quite good given the fact that the crisis came afterwards, and we managed to save quite a few money for our clients.
You mentioned before this current debt swap offer. How do you think this will affect Greece's long-term stability?
This Greek debt swap deal is a huge deal for Greece. One of the things that Greece should do and Greeks should do is, first of all, to thank all the lenders of Greece that they voluntarily agree to cut part of the money that they're expecting to get back from Greece. This debt swap deal will reduce the debt of Greece by more than 100 billion euros. And this is not only a reduction of the stock of debt, but this will result in a reduction on the flow of interest expense every year, which is very important, so that Greece, if it achieves a primary surplus, then it can use this surplus not to pay just interest expense, but to put money into the growth of the country. So if we do our job right, if we Greeks do our job right, I believe it's a huge opportunity for Greece to start a new decade of growth, prosperity and more jobs, which is the most important thing for any society.
And finally, what is the bank's vision for 2012 and beyond?
Well, actually, the bank's vision is for the next 3 to 5 years to pay back the money that will be used to be recapitalized. We have a business plan with many different methods of raising cash, boosting our core equity ratio, and returning the funds that we will get from the second bailout package. And the vision is to remain private, not to be nationalized, and to provide top services to our clients. This is the ultimate goal, and it should be the ultimate goal for every bank, to provide top services for its clients, because without clients, there are no profits and there are no banks.